In this tutorial, I will show you how to texture paint images onto your objects using the Stencil brush in Blender. So in this video, I'll show you how to set up the Stencil brush so that you can see your image above your object, and then you can paint over it and it'll place the texture onto your object. And then I'll also show you how to paint on other images like icons or things with a transparent background onto your images, kind of like if you were like putting a sticker onto the object. Now, just a few things to go over before we get started. If you'd like to help support me and this YouTube channel, then some great places to do that are over on my Gumroad store and my Patreon page, where you can get 3D models and assets. You can also get tutorial files and artwork project files, and my procedural materials and other Blender content on my Gumroad and Patreon. And if you'd like to support the channel here on YouTube, you can also check out the YouTube memberships. So if you click on that join button down there next to the subscribe button, if you join my memberships, then you'll be helping to support the channel monthly, and you'll also get some cool perks here on YouTube. And then the last thing before we get started, I want to give huge thanks to this video's sponsor, an amazing render farm service called Blender Grid. Blender Grid is an easy to use render farm specifically designed for Blender. I've used the service and I highly recommend it. Upload your Blender file or a zip file with the blend file and textures. You can change the render settings on the website before rendering. Blender Grid will let you know the cost before you start the render. You can even choose when you want the render to finish if you're on a tight deadline. While it renders, you can check the rendered frames to make sure everything is rendering properly. Once it finishes, just download the files and compile the frames in a video editor. Use the link in the description to get $20 of render credit on your first render. So definitely check out Blender Grid with the link in the description. It's an amazing render farm and I do highly recommend it. Now for demonstration in this tutorial, I'm going to be texture painting this rock 3D model that I created. So the first thing that you need to do is UV unwrap your object, because if you don't UV unwrap your object, then Blender's not going to know how to place the texture on the object. So make sure you have the object selected, and then we're going to hop over to the UV editing tab right up here. So I'm just going to quickly UV unwrap this object. So make sure you are in edit mode of the object, and then I'm just going to press U, and then for an object like this, I'm just going to do the Smart UV project, and then on the island margin, I want there to be a little bit of space between the islands. So I'm just going to go with like a 0.001, and then I'm going to click on OK. And so this is just going to do a really quick UV unwrap. Now this really isn't the best UV unwrap, but for an object like this, which is very high detailed, this is fine. All right, the next thing that we need to do is add a material. So I'm going to hop right over here to the shading tab. So when you hop over to the shading workspace, you should have the 3D viewport and then also the shader editor. And then I'm going to click on the new button to add a new material, and I can just rename this material rock. So the next step, the next thing we need to do is add in an image texture that we can texture paint on. So right here in the shader editor, I'm going to press Shift A, and then I will click on the search, and I'm going to search for an image texture. So let's click on the image texture, and I'm going to drop it down here. Now I want to be able to preview the image texture, so I'm going to take the color and put that onto the base color, and that way we'll be able to preview the image texture on this object. Now we haven't actually added an image texture yet, so I'm going to click on the new button here to create a new image. Now on the name here, I can just call this like rock color, and then the width and height here, you can change this to change the texture resolution. Now I am just going to be doing a 2K texture, so I'm going to click on the width here, and then I'm going to click on the little star on my numpad, and then I'll hit 2. And the star is basically telling it to times this number by 2. So I'll hit enter, and that is 2048. So then on the bottom one here, I can just type in 2048. So that is a standard 2K resolution for textures. So just set this to whatever texture resolution you want. And then you can change the base color if you want to. I'm just going to make it kind of like a gray color, but this isn't going to matter too much because I am going to be texture painting over the color. So now I'm going to click on OK, and that is going to create that image texture. So we now need to paint on this. So to paint on it, I can click right over here to the texture painting workspace, and it's going to have everything set up. So right over here, you can see right here we are in the image editor, and you can see here is our UV unwrap. And so we could actually paint on this if we want to, but it makes more sense to actually paint on the 3D object. So right here, I'm going to click and drag and just make this smaller. So now let's actually set up that stencil brush. So if you press the T key, the T key is going to bring up this side panel right here, and just make sure you are on the draw brush. Now, if you click right up here, this is going to go to the active tool and workspace settings, and you can see that we actually have some brushes right here. So right now we just have the default brush, and so I actually want to create my own custom brush. So to do this, I just want to duplicate this brush with all of this data. So to duplicate it, you can can click on that little file icon right there. It kind of looks like two pieces of paper. Just click on that and that is going to duplicate that brush. So now you can see we have two of them, but I want to rename this one. So I'm just going to rename this one to Rock Stencil. All right, so now when we change the settings, it'll change the settings for our Rock Stencil brush. All right, so I'm going to go right down here and on the color, make sure this is fully set to white, because if it's not set to fully white, then when you actually paint your texture, it's going to be a little bit darker. So just make sure it is set all the way up to white. Now we need to add in a texture, so you can just click right here and that's going to open up the texturing. And so right here we can add a texture to this brush. So I'm going to click on the new button right here and that is going to add a texture. Now we haven't actually added in a texture, so I'm now going to be adding in the rock texture. So to add in the rock texture, I'm actually going to click right down here and this is going to go to the texture properties. All right, now on the texture properties, you can see it says brush right here, and that is what I want because I want to add this texture to the brush. So right here we have the type, and you can see right now it's set to image or movie. You could change it to these like procedural textures within Blender, but I want to import the rock texture. So I'm going to leave this set to image or movie. So now right down here, I can click on open to open up the texture. And then you can just locate to wherever you've saved the texture. So I'm going to be using this rock texture right here, and this is a free texture from Ambient CG. So I'll have a link in the description if you'd like to check out the same texture that I'm using. So I'm just going to double click on it to open it up, and you can see there it is. Now if you start to paint, you can see it is adding the texture there. But I'm not really able to know what part of the texture I'm painting, and I also want to be able to change the size and rotation and things like that. So I'm going to click right back over here to the active tool and workspace settings. And if I scroll down, you can now see that the texture is right in there. So then right underneath this, here are the different settings that you can change. So what we want to change is we want to change the mapping. So right here, I'm just going to go over some of the main ones that you might use. So the first one is view plane. So I'm just going to change this to view plane. And then also if you want to change your brush size, you can press the F key. That's going to make your brush bigger. Or if you scroll right over here, you can also change the radius right here, and that is going to change the brush size. And then if you want to change the brush strength, so how strong it's going to paint, you can press Shift S and then drag your mouse and click, or you can also change the strength right here with this slider. So I can now just start to click and drag and paint, and you can see what that view plane is doing. So it's basically just taking the texture, and every time you move, it's going to stamp that texture on. Now you're not actually able to see it very well. That's because of all these reflections. So to get away these reflections, I can actually click right up here on this little arrow, and then I can go right down here and I can turn off the specular lighting. So if you want to, it's totally optional. I'm going to click on this to turn it off, and that way I can see my texture better. So you can see now if I just click and drag, it's basically just taking the same exact texture and it's just stamping it onto that object. Let's click back here on the mapping, and I'm going to go to tiled. So tiled is the default. And so if I start to paint this, you can see it's just tiling the texture. And because this texture is seamless and tileable, it's basically just going to continue to repeat the texture. So this is a pretty useful one, but this isn't the one I want to use. Let's click back over here on the mapping. And I also want to show you the random. So this is a pretty cool one. So if you change it to random, so now you can see if I start to paint, it's giving each texture a random rotation, and that does help to make it a bit more random. Let's go to the next one though. I'm going to click right here on mapping, and I'm going to change this to stencil, and this is the one I want to use. So now if you move your mouse over the 3D space, you can see that there is that texture right there. And so what we can do is we can move this stencil over our object, and then we'll know exactly what's going to be painted on our object. So if you want to move the stencil image around, you can right click, and the right click on your mouse is going to move that around. And if you are using some sort of drawing tablet to do the texture painting, it's going to be the back pen button. So most pens will have a front pen button and a back pen button, and I just have my settings on the default, and so it's going to be the back pen button. So you can either just click with the back pen button if you're using a drawing tablet, or if you're using your mouse, you can just right click and that's going to move it around. Now if you want to rotate this image, you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to hold down the control key. So just hold down the control key and then right click and drag, and that is going to rotate the stencil. And if you're using a drawing tablet, you can hold down the control key and then you can click with the back pen button and drag, and that's going to rotate it. And if you want to scale it, it's going to be the same thing, but instead of control, it's going to be shift. So hold down the shift key and then right click and drag, and that is going to scale it up or down. And again, with your pen, you can hold hold down the shift key and then use the back pen button and click and then drag, and that's going to change the size of it. But then to rotate your 3D view, it's the same way that you would rotate it. So I'm just clicking with my middle mouse button to move around in the 3D space, or you can just click and drag with your front pen button. So just move to a spot where you want, and then you can just click, you can push down with your pen, or you can just click with your left mouse button. And you can see that wherever that texture is, it's going to stamp the texture onto the object. And then if you want to preview the texture, you can orbit around and then you can see what it looks like, or you can move your mouse out of the 3D space. And when you move your mouse out of the 3D space, then you're not going to be able to see the stencil, and you can just see what it looks like on the object. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly go around and texture paint this rock texture onto this rock. And I am just using my mouse. I'm just kind of clicking around to add this texture, but you could totally use a drawing tablet. I usually use a drawing tablet when I'm doing texture painting or sculpting. And if you don't have a drawing tablet and you'd like to purchase one, then I will have Amazon links in the video description to some drawing tablets that I recommend. And those are Amazon affiliate links. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. So if you purchase something through the links, then that will help me out, but with no extra cost to you. And there we have it. So I've just texture painted this rock texture onto the rock model. Now there is one more thing I want to show you in this video. I want to show you how to texture paint some sort of sticker or icon onto your object. So what I'm going to do is create a separate brush for that. So I'm going to scroll my mouse right up here, and that's going to go up to these brushes. And you can see here is the rock stencil and then just the normal brush, the basic brush. So I'm going to click on this icon right here, kind of the two pieces of paper, and that is going to duplicate the brush. So now it is a separate brush, but it still has the same data. And then I don't want it to be called rock stencil. I'm going to rename it to icon stencil. So now what we can do is we can just import a different texture. So I'm going to scroll right down here. You can see here's the texture. What I need to do is click right over here on the texture properties. And then what we need to do is just open up another image. So I'm going to click right here on this file icon to open in another image. And here is the image that I'm going to be adding. So this is a nuclear icon, and this is a free image from Pixabay. Link will be in the description if you'd like to download it. So I'm just going to double click on it to open it up. So now you can see that it's added in that icon there as the stencil. So I can just go right back over here to the active tool and workspace settings. And also something really important about this image, I downloaded this icon from Pixabay, and so it actually has a transparent background. So it actually has an alpha channel. So where there isn't any of the icon, kind of right over here in the corner, it is actually an alpha channel. It is transparent. So when we paint, it's not going to paint anything where the alpha transparency is. So now I can change the size by holding down the shift key and right clicking and dragging, and I'm going to make that much smaller. And let's also zoom in, and then I'm also going to press F to change my brush size. Now you can just start to paint here, and that is really cool. You can see that it's added that, and where it is transparent, it just hasn't added anything. But the problem with this is that it kind of fades out on the sides. So I'm going to press Ctrl Z to undo that. So to fix that problem of it kind of fading away on the corners, what you can do is you can scroll right over here, and then you can open up the fall off settings right here. So on the fall off settings, right now it is set to custom. It just has this default one here, but instead I'm going to change it to this one here, the constant. So now that it is set to constant, if I press F to change my brush size, now I can just click once, and it is going to add it in with 100% of the strength. So it's going to use all the strength, and it's just going to add that in. So now I can just go around here, and I can basically just stamp this icon. So it's basically acting as if this were some sort of sticker that you're placing onto the rock. Now there is one more really important thing. Before you close Blender, you need to make sure that you save the actual image, because if you don't save the image, then Blender's not going to store it, and so you're going to lose that data, and so you would need to retexture paint it. So before you close Blender, make sure you save the image. So to save the image, you can just click and drag and just open this back up. And this right over here, this is the image editor. So then to save this image that you painted, you can click on image right here, and then you can click on save as. And then I can just call this rock color, and just to make the file size a bit smaller on the file format right here, I'm just going to change this to a JPEG, and then I can click on save as image. So now that image texture that you painted has been saved to an external file on your computer. So I can now just hop back over here to the shading painting workspace, and you can see there it is. So there is the texture, and there is the rock color plugged into the principled BSDF. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and I hope the tutorial was helpful. And if you'd like to learn more about texture painting in Blender, then I have a playlist of my texture painting tutorials, so I'll have a link in the description to that playlist, and also I will leave it right up there on the end screen. But I hope this tutorial was helpful, and thank you for watching.